Long Walk to Freedom, the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, tells the life story of South Africa's first post apartheid president. Mandela rose to the leadership of the apartheid struggle to become one of the 20th century most iconic world leaders. He began writing the book in prison in 1975 and it was published in 2004. Mandela was born in rural South Africa in 1918. As a child, he was destined to become a royal advisor, but the allure of the big city, Johannesburg, drew him to a life of political activism. In Johannesburg, Mandela trained to be a lawyer. His experience with apartheid, the collection of racist laws by which South Africa's white minority dominated by its black majority, led him to join the African National Congress, the leading organization opposing apartheid. Mandela's prominent role in resisting apartheid brought the full force of the government down upon him, and he was tried for treason. He and his confidants were acquitted in 1961, but the trial and subsequent crackdowns convinced Mandela that apartheid could not be defeated society through non-violent means. He helped establish the Umkhonto we Siswe, that MK, a paramilitary force dedicated to overthrowing the apartheid regime. Under his leadership, the MK commenced a campaign of sabotage while Mandela traveled abroad to seek finding and training from other African leaders. Mandela was eventually captured and put on trial with other members of the MK in 1963. This time he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Even from prison also, Mandela remained a leader of the apartheid struggle and within a few years managed to establish secret contact with the exiled African National Congress leadership. Together, they garnered international support and planned acts of sabotage. Over the course of his imprisonment, Mandela became an iconic figure to anti-colonial struggles around the world, and demands for his release grew. Beginning in the 60s and culminating in the late 80s, South Africa was hit by a series of crippling economic sanctions. Concurrently, a rising generation of young resistors made much of the country ungovernable. In the mid 80s, when Mandela was jailed separately from his compatriots, he secretly reached out to the apartheid government in the hopes of bringing them to the bargaining table. He spent several years slowly convincing government leaders to negotiate with the African National Congress to end the conflict and write a new constitution giving equal rights to all South Africans. Facing an imminent economic collapse due to sanctions and unable to abate the rioting in the townships, the South African government released Mandela in 1990. Despite his freedom, Mandela knew that only sustained pressure on the government would lead to terms acceptable to African National Congress. In fits and starts, negotiations between the African National Congress and the South African government took place from 1992 to 1993. During this period of negotiation, South Africa was racked with the political uncertainty that erupted into sporadic violence. Inner ethnic rivalries between the country's various African peoples were secretly inflamed by government security forces and African leaders seeking to maintain their own privileged position. Several times all seemed lost, all talks were suspended, and the country teetered on the edge of civil war. Mandela played a critical role in repeatedly claiming calming tensions between white people and Africans, as well as between Africans of different tribal backgrounds. At last, a transitional government was selected, and the first free elections in South Africa were held from April 26 to 29, 1994. The African National Congress was elected in a landslide with Mandela as their leader. Mandela's autobiography ends just before he entered the office of president. He writes that the end of apartheid was not the end of hate or division in South Africa, because even though it was a long walk to freedom,